Well, it's time now for story time for the kids, so we're excited about that. We're going to do Donkey in the Living Room. And parents, I just want to give you, I just found this at Lifeway. Here's a plug for Lifeway. But it's an awesome book. And then last night we went like, oh, let's get a second book so that the people in the media can follow along. And we found this set that goes with it. So how it goes is that 9 days before Christmas, you do each character, and then you kids, interact. But we're doing all 9 days today. But it would be a great tool for your kids, especially if they're small. Just to re-emphasize the meaning of Jesus, the meaning of Christmas, and what it's all about. So, children, you are welcome to come sit here on the stairs right here. Come on up. Guys, this is our family service, and normally, come sit on these stairs right here. Everybody that's to see where Josiah and Zoe are right here. Fill up those stairs right there. Normally, kids aren't in here, and we do ask if babies cry to take them to the mother's room or in the lobby. But today, no, it's free for all right? So, everybody come down. Welcome. We'll wait till everybody gets down here. And the pictures are going to be up on this. Oh, you see it right there. So you can see there. Now, guys, listen, I have a few of these. I have 9 pieces up here. So I'm going to ask some people to come up and to place it in the manger. So I need to see kids that are sitting up, paying attention, not bothering their neighbor, not making noise, but really paying attention. Those are the ones that I'm going to pick, okay? So you be sitting there real good. Okay, this is called the Donkey in the Living Room. You ready? Okay. Mary, mother of Jesus. Have you heard about little Miss Mary? Not the one with the lamb or the one contrary, but the one who lived a long time before. To begin this great story, she will tell you more. In the days just before taxes were due, a visitor came to me right out of the blue. An angel appeared, and there standing tall, Gabriel gave me the news that started it all. "You are going to have a baby," he cried. I was worried. I trembled, I shook, and I sighed. "But don't be afraid," he told me just then. "God favors you, Mary, among women and men." "How can this be?" I asked the winged being. I couldn't believe what I was hearing and seeing. "God's Spirit will help you. You will give birth. And the boy who is born, he will save the whole earth." Even though part of me wanted to run, I said, "I am God's servant, so let this be done." So now we're going to do Mary. Would you like to come pick up Mary and put her in right there in front of the stable? Right there. Yep, wherever you want to put her. There's Mary. All right. Who do you think the next one's going to be? Okay, let's see. The donkey. Have you heard of the famed donkey of old? The load he carried was worth way more than gold. Other donkeys knew he wasn't the same. He will tell us now how he earned his donkey fame. "When I was young, Augustus was Caesar. Believe me, his senses was not a crowd pleaser. We had to hightail it to our hometowns so the rulers could count us and write our names down. To make their trips a bit quicker, of course, people saddled a donkey or camel or horse. Out of all the people Mary's husband-to-be waltzed in the stable and picked little old me. We loaded up and left Galilee fast. Joseph was related to a king from the past. King David had been from a far-off land, so we all had to hoof it through grass, rock, and sand. It wasn't easy tracking through the dust, but my mind was made up to Bethlehem or bust. Would you like to come put up the donkey?
No, me.
You gotta wait. You gotta sit there. You're doing good. Thank you. What do you think the next one's gonna be? Joseph? Okay. The cow. Have you ever heard where the donkey stopped as Mary's belly was getting ready to pop? To fill you in, we'll cut to the cow. She's the best one to tell you the who, what, and how. One dark night, I heard the clickety-clack of a donkey's arriving and loosening his pack. A bearded man sauntered up to the end and announced he'd come to the land of his kin. "We've got no room here," the innkeeper said. "You can sleep in the stable. We don't have a bed." Mary came in and sat by the manger. Then after that, the night got even stranger. Joseph was pacing, his face in a frown, and Mary was hurting, so he had to lie down. We all stayed quiet, not even mooing, as everyone sensed something big now was brewing. And sure enough, when we woke the next morn, we could see, plain as day, a baby had been born. Would you like to come up and put the cow? Blonde hair right back there. In the gray. Yes, you. Come on up. Can you make it up? Can you make a pathway for him? Oh, he's going to take. There we go. So you put the cow up there for us. Thank you. What's the next one? The what? Joseph? The sheep? Somebody's seen a pattern, aren't they? The sheep. Have you heard about the day's hillside flock who greeted one night with a shock of all shocks? Here to tell it is a sheep from that field. Listen closely now, he's got a story to wield. Back then, whenever it grew dark at night, shepherds made sure to keep his sheep in sight. They paced around to prevent any scares from lions or wolves or even big hairy bears. There I was standing in the dark pitch black, but a ripple of baaing broke out in the pack. Each sheep was staring straight up in the sky as a bright light and a loud noise erupted on high. The shepherds were afraid. It was easy to hear, but the words that were said from the sky calmed their fears. Instead of letting us sleep for a bit, they packed up our stuff and led us off on a trip. Soon we all joined an odd celebration for one little baby who brought us salvation. How about Raymond? Would you like to come up and put the sheep up? Can you make it through? You got to guess who the next one's going to be? Joseph. No, shepherds, right. You're paying attention, aren't you? The shepherd. Have you heard that the men watching their sheep saw a light in the sky while the world was asleep? This guy tells you what the light was about and why they decided to pack up and head out. We were carefully keeping watch by night. The sheep began baaing and bleating in flight. It was the strangest thing we'd ever seen by far. Every one of our sheep looking up at the stars. I saw one herder turn white as snow. I thought sure enough I'd be the next to go. I was pale as wool, my knees shaking, the humming and drumming the sky was making. Then a voice cried out, "Do not be afraid." And before I could faint, an announcement was made. Something big was happening right down their road. To investigate more, we packed up our loads. We rounded the herd and took off straight away and flocked to the stable where one lone baby lay. Would you like to do the shepherds? That's right, put him with the sheep. Y'all are being so good. What's the next one?
Angel.
Yes. You can do the next one when I tell you, okay? Have you heard how the angels lit up the sky and delivered the message from our God on high? I could tell you about a night so good, but if anyone should tell you, an angel should. It was dark and black all over the place. Why, you couldn't even see your wing in front of your face. Then I appeared in God's glorious light, and those frightened shepherds almost fainted at the sight. Good news, I said, the Messiah is here. That's when every last angel came out and appeared. We sang and praised God again and again, saying, "Glory to God, peace, goodwill to men." The shepherds didn't know what had just hit, but you should have seen how fast they got up and split. As soon as I'd said, The last of the news, they were herding their sheep, grabbing staffs, coats, and shoes. After that night, it was just as you'd bet. They told the story to every person they met. You want to come up and put the angel up? What's the next one? Joseph. You're going to get it right one of these days. The shepherds? We got shepherds up there, don't we? Yeah, we got shepherds. What's the next one? Camel? Camel. Yes, the camel. Have you heard of the camel from afar, trudging along to follow a big, bright, sparkly star? I could tell you and go out on a limb, but I think we ought to leave the story to him. My master came in back home in the east. He said, "Let us get going, my trustworthy beast. The words of the ancient are coming true. I'd like to be there to see it, wouldn't you? To honor a king, the grandest of grand, he packed only the finest things from our land. He piled up the gold, shiny and yellow, and the best myrrh that you could find for a fellow. There was frankincense, too, with its rich scent, but I had no idea what all these gifts meant. I knew this king would be worth the trouble, 'cause my master and friends left town on the double. I knew something huge would happen that day. It was only time a star lit our way." Mason, would you like to come up and put one on? Is he gone? You can put the camel up. Thank you. All right, so you know what the next one is, right? Yes, the wise men. Have you heard of the group of men so wise? They traveled to Jerusalem as the crow flies. I could take their story down from the shelf, but better yet, I'll let a wise man tell you himself. We've been studying the sky late one night when one star became crazy, amazingly bright. It was a sign, a king on his way, so we made plans to leave on that very same day. We rode to Jerusalem, miles and miles, to ask King Herod about the coming Christ child. The king called his priests and teachers of law. He wasn't happy with what he heard and saw. From Bethlehem town this ruler would rise. "Go," Herod said, "find the baby where he lies." We tracked the star to right over the boy. The hearts of we wise men were filled with pure joy. God told us in a dream not to trust Herod. We never went back to the palace to share it. All right, who can I look? The baby? Would you like to come up in the hoodie? Right, you, yeah. Sorry, I don't remember names. Put the wise men up there. Thank you. All right. Who's next?
Joseph.
It's your turn. What's your answer? Who's next? You've been saying Joseph all this time, remember? Now it's your turn to say Joseph. You want to put Joseph up in a minute? You're not in trouble. Would you like to put Joseph up when I finish reading? Okay. Joseph, the father of Jesus. Have you heard of Jesus' earthly dad? Joseph can tell you of adventures he had. If you've been wondering when he'd take the scene, we won't delay. We'll let him now spill what he's seen. When Mary's tummy first started to grow, there was one thing that happened you really should know. An angel told me, "Stay with sweet Mary. She's been given a gift from God she must carry." In Bethlehem, just as the others said, our baby was born with a manger for his bed. Shepherds did visit, and wise men to boot. The angels whose voices were smooth as a flute. Yes, Herod wanted to hurt our new son, so we fled to Egypt, taking him on the run. God warned us to go, again through a dream. He's always there watching over us, it seemed. Our son grew up to die and rise again, to complete God's great gift of goodwill for all men. Would you like to put Joseph up? You want to come up? Come on up. Come up here. Can you make a way, guys? Grab Joseph and put him up wherever you want to put him. Here's Joseph. Good job. All right, last one. Who is it?
The baby.
Yes, baby Jesus. We'll put him right there. All right, baby Jesus is our last one. Now we have come to the baby so small with the most important story of all. If there's just one that you make time to hear, let it be Jesus' story this Christmas, my dear. The stories are true, what everyone saw. I was born in a stable surrounded by straw, wrapped in swaddling clothes, laid in a manger, among my family and an odd group of strangers. But more importantly, the rest is true. I came out of God's love for each one of you. I am Emmanuel, God with you from birth, the awaited Messiah who shepherds the earth. John 10 says, I came so you'd have full life. In John 16, I promised I'd overcome strife. I stood against wrong and set people free, preached good for the poor and helped blind people to see. One thing to take from this story above is that mine is a story of absolute love, of hope and truth, of life and light. It's a story for all year, not just Christmas night. In all the hoopla, buying and selling, remember that this is a story worth telling. Who's going to put baby Jesus up?
Me.
All right, you can put Jesus up. All right, that was a good story, wasn't it? Who is the best gift of all?
Me.
Yes, you are. You've been listening to your parents well, haven't you?
Baby Jesus.
That's right. Baby Jesus is the best gift of all. Are you so excited about Christmas?
Yeah.
Who is ready to open up some present gifts?
Me.
Are you ready? Open up presents? You got lots of presents to open? Yes, and there's going to be all kinds of presents that we open on Christmas Day.
And we can
What?
bring them home.
What? You're ready to open some presents?
Yeah.
What happened? Oh my goodness.
Whoa! I think I'm the president, right? I think I'm the president, aren't I?
Is he the best gift?
I think, right?
Pastor Chris, what's he doing?
Yeah, right? I think I'm the I'm pretty sure it's the best present of all. No? It isn't? What's the best present? Man, I did all this work. I'm like a full-on gift.
I'm gonna open
Stay still. No, stay.
I'm not the best present.
Sit down. Sit down.
I
Okay.
open you up.
I guess you're right. Like Jesus is the best gift, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's the best gift of all, right?
Yeah.
Even though I'm wrapped up in this awesome gift and I got my bells. Right? Man, God and Jesus is the best gift of all, right?
Yes.
I love it. Awesome.
All right, Pastor Chris,
Yes?
Jesus is the best gift, so
Yes. I guess I did all
you better go find a seat. You sit down, maybe the
that sounds
front
good.
row.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, give Pastor Chris a hand. Yay.